And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Around the Diamond with head coach Thomas Scully of the softball team, the Lady Eagles of Holy Savior Menard Central High School. In this first half, 7 to 7:30. In the second half, it'll be head coach Jordan Marks of the boys Eagles baseball team. We're just welcome to Coach Scully and our intern, his daughter, Sophia Scully, a freshman at LSUA and was a four-year player for the Lady Eagles. What a turnaround, Coach, in the last week. From week to week, you never know what you got, but this is the kind of week you want to have. 5 in a row, dating back to, last Saturday, a week ago Saturday. Talk about the growth of this team.
Well, you know, when we left on Saturday from Monroe, after losing a tough one to Shudra and turned around and beat Forest, who I didn't feel like was really good, and so we had a little learning lesson in that game. We basically went station to station with the players, and we threw Sophie Giordano for 3 innings, and we ended up beating Forest 15-0. So, you know, the thing was, I wanted it to sting a little bit after we kind of gave the shoe drink game away, and, you know, on the way back, it was pretty quiet. We had a couple conversations, and then on Monday we came back to work knowing that we had Avoyelles and Rose Pine. Avoyelles on Tuesday, Rose Pine on Thursday at their place to continue with district. So, you know, that was the big thing. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? So, you know, we challenged the young ladies to take ownership. And that was the key word all week, ownership. You take ownership of your mistakes, you own up to them, and let's see how that works. Because we really couldn't do anything else as coaches.
Yeah, and then on Tuesday you come out, and it's the first game that we're able to cover, and it was a great ball game. I mean, 10-0, only went, 4.5? You know, 5 innings, or 4.5 actually, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did. It went 5 innings. We ended up beating Avoyelles 10-0, and you know, facing Grimion, who has been a 4-year pitcher for Avoyelles, she does a really good job, and we knew she was going to be a challenge. At their place last year, we struggled with her because of her off speed, and she has a rise ball, and she likes to come inside a lot, and her off speed's really good. So it was a good challenge for us, and you know, we stuck to the course. We stayed focused. We got. You know, we did what we needed to do. We got 8 hits. We out-hit them. We scored 10 runs. And, you know, then Kaylee came in and she pitched 5 innings. She struck out 6. She walked 2, and she only gave up 2 hits. So, you know, that was the difference. With her in the circle, limiting the walks, hitting her spots, doing everything she was supposed to do, and then the girls locked in, focused. And that was the other thing, just making them stay focused in that time frame. And we get that win 10-0 over Avoyelles.
Well, and you started out in the bottom of the first inning with 2 doubles.
Yeah.
You know, Shelton and Davis hitting 2 doubles. You get a run, and then DeSalle comes up and walks, and ended up getting Davis and DeSalle in a little bit later with a hit, and you got a 3-0 lead, and from there you just took off.
Yeah, the confidence was amazing.
So getting that game started with 2 doubles, that just picked the momentum up for everybody to feel like, hey, I can hit this girl.
Yeah, and it does, and they knew we had faced her before, so we had a pretty good history with her. You know, in our district, you play everybody twice, so most of the time you're going to see the same pitcher, especially if they only have 1 pitcher on their staff, so you're going to see that same person. And as the week went on and as that game went on, the second time around, we make better adjustments. And that's a credit to the players by staying locked in and know what's going on. You know, what's going on at every bat and how they were pitched, and they get better at every at-bat.
So then you have, in that game, go to practice on Wednesday, trying to maybe calm everybody. I mean, you've got a 2-game win streak going at this point, coming off of Forest and Avoyelles, and you've got probably the game of, at least at that point, the game of the district with 2 undefeated teams at 2-0. You have to go on the road to Rose Pine. This is something that Sophia and Devin Powell talked about Saturday as Devin joined us on the broadcast. You know, that for them, it was a revenge game, you know, even though they weren't playing in it, you know, because Rose Pine got the better of you guys last year there. And you go in there and you take care of business. And it wasn't even close.
We did. And, you know, and this is what I challenged the team with on Wednesday. You know, we had a little practice. You know, our practice was intense. We changed some things up at what we do at practice. We spend probably 3/4 of our time hitting every day. So I challenged them to be prepared. Again, Rose Pine is another team, same pitcher, returning pitcher, so we had a really good scouting report on her. We knew what she was doing. We knew what she was capable of doing to us. And basically, we were not ready. We were not focused. So basically, we just explained to them, look, we're going in there. We're going to win. We're not going to lose, and we're going to do whatever it takes to walk out with a victory. We got 7 innings of softball to play. Let's just go in there and play. And again, when you have Kaylee in the circle, and she's on her game. She had 11 strikeouts. She gave up only 5 hits. She gave up 2 runs, and both of those were earned. But the thing is, she had no walks, and that was the difference maker. When you don't put anybody on base, especially Rose Pine, they've got to hit the ball. And I just told her, they can't hit you.
Yeah.
If you hit your spots, they're not going to hit you. And she did a tremendous job. And then, of course, it always helps when she can hit a long ball. And she hit one out of left field, probably the furthest I've ever seen one hit over that left field wall. And so that confidence, she just carried that to the circle and kept it going all game.
And we're looking at a picture on the screen. We can't see it. We don't have a monitor, but the picture is of Kaylee holding one of the balls, and I believe is that DeSalle as well.
Yeah.
Had another one. Was that her 4th on the year at the time, or 3rd?
Yeah, I think it. I don't keep up. Honestly, I don't keep up with the home runs. I look at the other stats. I look at what they do. But the thing with Kaylee was we had gotten back-to-back doubles, and then she comes up, and we have her down in the order for a reason. But she came up, and she had a 3-2 count, and she had fouled one off. And all I told her was just sit back. She's got to throw to you because we had people on base. And they threw it right over, the girl threw it right over the middle of the plate, and she made them pay. And so we have that in our arsenal. She has that in her, in her repertoire. She can do that. She's got the power to do that. And she did. She launched it. And then DeSalle came in the next inning, and she hit one dead center. And that was a difference maker. When DeSalle hit that one out dead center, and the wind is blowing to the right field and not out of center field, it was a difference maker. And of course, what we did was we scored every inning but the 4th, and then we turned around and we put a crooked number up in the 6th, and we put one up in the 7th, and it really kind of shut the boom lady down. That just annoyed us the entire game.
Well, that was something we got the scoreboard up, and you can see 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, but it was that 6th inning with 6 runs. Once you do something like that, it takes the momentum away from them, or if they had any at all,
right,
knowing that they couldn't hit Kaylee, and were having difficulty. So you come out of that game, and now you're 3-0 in district and sitting pretty. And we'll talk a little bit about Oakdale, coming up in the next segment. But that's going to be another undefeated game on Tuesday.
Yeah.
When Oakdale comes to the nest.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back. We'll have a couple of girls to visit with.
Sure.
And then we'll touch briefly on the weekend as well, because it was a great weekend for Lady Eagle softball.
Sounds good.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems? Go where you know. Certified Transmission.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
And we're back live at Buffalo Wild Wings with head coach Thomas Scully and the Lady Eagles of Holy Savior Menard Central High School. Sophia has stepped away to hopefully get something to eat real quick before the next segment. And we have Addie Wright I guess it would be the right if you're looking at the screen of Coach Scully, number 17 and the first baseman for the Lady Eagles, and the catcher, number 1, Kate Parati, who came in as a 7th grader last year and had to start at catcher after Sophia had the fracture in her leg. And
Yes,
I think
sir.
your first hit was a grand slam home run. And I asked Coach after that, I was like, where does she go from there? But it's just a learning experience. It was a great weekend this weekend. We kind of left off at that, and we got a shot of the team. This was a picture of the team after the Rose Pine win, but it's a picture that y'all have taken now, 5 times in a row with the victory picture. This weekend you had the round robin at the Nest, and you had St. Frederick coming in.
Yes.
And then you also Gina. Mm-hmm. 2 tough teams to come in. I mean, I know they're 1A, but they're still ranked. They had a good little ball club.
St. Fred's is a very good ball club. Coach Ronnie Lazozo over at St. Fred's does a really good job. They came in 11-4. Ranked, I think, I want to say 7th in Division 4 Select. And, he does a really, really good job. He and I are very good friends off the field. We talk a lot. We probably talk every week, just kind of bouncing things off of each other, not even softball related. But they were really good, and that was our test, our first test at 11 on Saturday. And they came in, and I knew they had really good pitching. And, again, we challenged our team and our players the same way we had challenged them on Tuesday and Thursday. And then again, they did exactly what we asked them to do.
Win game 1, 10-5 over St. Frederick's and 10-6 over Gina. Did not start out, falling behind 3-0 in both games. Addie, what's it like, falling behind and then going, oh man, how are we going to dig out of a hole? Was that ever a thought?
Well, sometimes we do have that struggle of like, oh, we're down, we just relax. Well, I feel like we were all this weekend locked in. We were ready to win. We didn't want to go back down.
And opened up with DeSalle on the mound, and she got through the first and then brought Kaylee in. Addie, you had a good weekend at the plate. Tell us a little bit about your progression this year.
Well, let's see. Well, I had basketball, and I wasn't really getting that much work in, but coming back to the season, I've really just been trying to work on hitting, and that's kind of been working out pretty good for me. Started yesterday, wasn't having great at-bats, but at the end of the day, I was really getting back into it.
So, Kate, talk a little bit about being behind the plate, having to catch different pitchers. What are some of the things that you guys do to have that, connection? They got to have faith in you, no matter where they're going to throw it, that you're going to
Right.
stop it.
Our main pitchers, Kaylee and Emily, they're definitely 2 different types of pitchers, I guess you could say. Kaylee definitely has more velocity than Emily, and Emily spins the ball really well, and that was very hard to get used to, starting, but as you get used to it, it becomes easier as you go on.
So one of the things I noticed, was the amount of times that you did a pickoff, either whether it was down to third or to Addie at first base. We kind of talked about it on the air with Sophia. You know, I mean, are y'all looking at each other and signaling each other, you know, in terms of when you're going to throw down, or, you know, are you just counting on Addie's got to be there with the glove?
Well, in the first game, I looked at Addie and I was like, most of the time I like look at her when I'm trying to throw it down before I do, and then like I think one time she like shook her head, and then the next inning, or I think maybe the next game, I don't know, maybe she shook her head again, and I just threw it down there, and then we got her out. So it really does come down to trust and having trust in Addie and in the defense and in the outfielders to back us up.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bullet down there. I mean, it was a perfect throw right on the right side of the bag, and it didn't matter. And then you had one down the third base line with a right-handed batter. You
right.
know, and that's a difficult throw because you got to step out to make that throw.
Yeah, well, knowing you're throwing down there, like knowing before the pitch comes and being ready to just snap it down there as soon as you get the ball is helpful. Also, again, trusting in Sophie that she can catch the ball, and that, I guess, trust in yourself that you can make a good throw.
So talk a little bit about the difference between last year and this year. I mean, you a lot more confident behind the plate?
Yes, learning for sure. It's definitely different. High school ball is different than like travel ball or whatever. Getting used to it and getting experience in the different pitchers and just a different type of the game. Like the game is definitely faster, and it's just some things are different, and once you get used to it, it's easier and become better. You improve.
You know, during the two games, did you notice that after those throws that were down there, you made the catch? Did you see him coming back a little bit closer to the bag rather than?
I did. I feel like once they realized Kate has a good arm, that they should probably keep going back to the bag.
Now, Coach, you know, you were talking about some stats for Addie. She had a really good day at the plate as well.
She did. You know, and we talk about that all the time, is just about being consistent. And, you know, what I found this week for her, she was 6 for 17 in the 5 games. And I go back on the 5 games, you know, but just in the Gina game where I felt like the pitchers, the quality of the pitchers were really good. And Gina was a huge win for us because we have not fared well against them in the last couple of years. But to be able to do that, and the Cooper girl that Gina has, that she throws 60 to 62, that's her average. And, you know, she struck us out 7 times in the 4 innings that she pitched. But when she got out, the other 2 did a really good job. But Addie had 5 RBIs in that game. And, you know, when you score 10 runs and one person produces 5 RBIs, she ended up in the last 5 games, she's batted .352. So when she talks about what she does, and you got to realize this is a freshman and an 8th grader, and every day after practice, when I look up and I'm out there raking the field or cleaning the field up in practice, these 2 are most of the time in the cage, still getting extra work in, or doing whatever it takes. But when you have that commitment and that grind and that want and that desire and to do that, you know, that's what you want as far as having players. But yeah, Addie had a really great weekend, but she's had a great 5 games. You know, and she's had a struggle, and she works through that, and she doesn't let that get her down. And Kate talked about being confident in throwing the ball. We encourage her to do that. We give her the green light to do that. So it's a communication thing on their part. If she throws it away, if they're not doing the job behind her, like she said, being confident is another thing. But that's what we want them to do. We want them to play loose. We want them to have fun. But we also, when they play loose and they're having fun, that means they're really locked in. And that's all we can ask out of them.
Well, and that's one of the things that I noticed, too, on the throwdowns. You know, you talk about having confidence in your defense. I think it's Annabelle Drago. I don't know which one I was saying all day. Drago. She's out in left field, and she was running over and backing up the throw. And then out in right field,
the season
Fiasconero.
Yep.
Man, it took me a while to get that last name, even with basketball season.
Right.
But she was doing her job of going in and backing up. So it does make it a little bit easier for you to go ahead and make that throw, knowing that they may only get one base out of it because somebody's back there backing them up. With all those stats that you said, we want to just say our inaugural player of the week for 446 Sports won it, Addie Wright, first baseman, number 17. Give you the first shirt for HSM player of
That's
the
cool.
week. Yeah, so
Oh,
good crowd here at Buffalo Wild Wings. And before we head out, let's just talk about this week. You got what, 5 straight home games this week if the weather holds out. Is that right?
We'll play Oakdale on Tuesday, and then we'll play Glenmore on Thursday here, and then on Saturday we'll have another round robin. And the 2 games that we're scheduled to play is Oak Hill and Anacoca, and we'll have 4 games this week again at home, all at home.
Yeah, so get to win again at the Nest. Just one last thing, both of y'all, final thoughts on the victory at Rose Pine.
Well, I definitely think that we owed them from last year. We won at home, but then we went over there and lost pretty bad. I don't think the score is bad, just the game that we played, we didn't play to our fullest, and we definitely did play to our fullest this Thursday, and it just felt good to get a win.
14-2, Addie.
that was a really fun game. Very proud of the way we finished the game and started the game. We're going to do it again this week too.
There you go, yeah, because it's 2 3-0 teams coming up on Tuesday with Oakdale coming to town. So everybody get out to the Nest at 5:30. Dress a little warm. It's supposed to be freezing at some point on Tuesday, and then kind of warm up a little bit. But this Saturday was a great day. It was a little windy and chilled. But Coach, good luck this week with Oakdale coming up on Tuesday and Glenmora on Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to be back with more of Around the Diamond with head coach Thomas Scully. When we come back, we actually have Sophia joining us again, and we'll be back right at this. You're watching Around the Diamond with Coach Scully on 446 Sports right here live from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait?
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
At Certified Transmission, you can count on our certified mechanics with over 35 years experience to get your vehicle fixed right and get you back on the road.
Got transmission problems? Go where you know. Certified Transmission.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
And welcome back to Around the Diamond with head coach Thomas Scully of the Holy Savior Menard Central Lady Eagles softball team here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Tom Boucher, Sophia Scully here with Coach Scully. Let's talk a little bit about this in the last 3.5 minutes or so that we have the youth of this softball team. We mentioned it earlier. Sophia and Devin Powell were the only two seniors you had last year. And you mentioned it. You had a 7th and an 8th grader, now an 8th and 9th grader, sitting next to you just a little while ago with Addie and Kate. But this is still a very young team, sitting at 9 and 10. But you're at number 14 in Class 2A, and then number 12 in the Select Division III division. I mean, you're sitting pretty with a young team.
We are, and you know, when you look at the 15 players we put on the field, with Emily DeSalle being the senior, and then Amelie Lyons and Sophie Giordano being the 2 juniors, the three sophomores, 4 freshmen, 3 8th graders, and 2 7th graders. You know, we are young, but if you look back at this team, there's only really 3 players on the team that were not on the team last year. You know. And we are young, and adversity, you know, is a challenge for us at times. But I think, and Kate said it best, the game slows down for her, and it slowed down for her this year compared to last year. Last year, there's a lot, especially being the catcher, and you're a 7th grader. And then Addie being at first and touching the ball every time. If the ball's put in play, she's probably touching the ball 60% of the time. But for Kate, having to touch the ball every single pitch, it makes a difference. And then last year, she was a 7th grader, and a freshman was pitching to her. Now you got a sophomore and an 8th grader. So, you know, again, they've learned each other, and that time frame has really made a difference.
Well, you know, you're sitting pretty not only this year, but for future years with the youth that you have as they continue to get stronger, bigger. You know, there's a weight program, I'm sure, that they're doing in the off season.
Sure.
And then starting to gel. I mean, every team is different, and they got to find that way to gel.
Absolutely, and it goes back to leadership too. You know, you can't put everything on Emily, and I tell her that all the time. We're not going to put the pressure all on just you. Everybody else needs to step up and help. And you know, all the way down to the 8th graders or 7th graders. You know, all 3 8th graders the other day, we had them in the lineup. We went to Rose Pine, all 3 started. And you know what's so interesting about Rose Pine? You go to Rose Pine, and when they introduce the players, they're gonna tell you what grade they're in. Well, when they introduce, and we got 3 8th graders in our lineup, you know, you can hear the chuckling in the stands, and then next thing you know,
14-2.
We put 14 runs on them, and so
and a lot of laughing.
Who's laughing now?
That's right.
You know,
Sophia, you got a question for head coach Tom Scully?
Yes, so how are you seeing the leadership come up in the younger ones?
I think they're doing it by work, and I mentioned that about them 2 being in the cages. I think the young girls, the younger ones, are spending more time putting the work in, and they understand what their situation is. They understand what it takes now to win. And now that they've gotten a taste of this and their confidence level is really up, they don't want to lose now. They want to hold on to that, and they want to hold on to that feeling of being excited and having that W at the end of the game. So, you know, when you're on a 5-game winning streak, or you've won 5 in a row, and probably that's the most we've won ever at Menard in a row since I've been here for 6 years because of the schedule we play. You're normally going to drop one here and there, but for us to have those 5 wins on quality teams, that's a testament to their hard work.
Well, you'll have Oakdale this Tuesday night. And before we leave, a shout out to Little Parati, who came around to pick up a home run ball, which unfortunately wasn't ours. But she did us a favor and picked up a bottle of water for me that I'd knocked off the perch, you know, and some keys for Devin. She picked them up. She was in her little softball uniform. So big thanks to her.
It's
for
Jane.
that help.
And Jane will be with us next year. So Jane will be moving up, and she'll be in junior high. So she'll have her big sister there with her.
With head coach Jordan Marks and Nick Magnano and Danny Clear coming up right after these messages. You're watching Around the Diamond with on 446 Sports live from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Time for a red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
And welcome back to Around the Diamond with usually Coach Jordan Marks and Coach Scully, but we have Coach Brad Turney here today. Coach Marks is absent, so we went to the bullpen. Welcome on the show, Coach. Appreciate you taking your time to come out.
I appreciate you guys having me here. I really do.
Is Coach Marks still recovering from the Wings Challenge? Is that...
Oh, here we go.
He told me he didn't enjoy that one too much.
Yeah, we didn't want to do that one to you, Coach. That was pretty rough. He checked out after about 3. So, Coach Brad said he's been here. He was played for the Aces, won a World Series with the championship with them, and came from Albuquerque. And you've been here ever since. So, said you've been at Menard for 4 years.
Yeah, it's my 4th year here with Jordan.
And you said that you coach and pretty much cover all the bases. We had thought initially that you were the pitching coach, but you take care of the whole thing, huh?
Yeah, we've shared duties ever since I got here. Like I was talking, when I left UA, we had a good conversation about the fact that how rough it would be to have 2 head coaches on the same staff. But we both have the same philosophies about the game, and we don't really get in each other's way. He does his thing, I do my thing, and we're typically on the same page with everything we talk about. So it's been a good combination since then.
And we also know, Danny, that he's the Fungo king.
You weren't going to bring it up. I was.
Yeah, Fungo golf.
He's the leader in the house.
Leader in the house, but I've lost the last couple of rounds. Scully's been doing better out there.
That's what he said. He has the course record now.
Boy,
he's got to tie the course record.
Oh, okay.
Them Scullys are on a roll for some reason here, I mean, Coach was, beat Jordan last week, and then he's, now a 5-game win streak, and now Drew's. Man, we need to, make sure we keep them humble, keep them winning, but keep them humble. So, hey, let's talk about last week. Let's talk about Anacoco and how the week started out with that victory.
That was a good way to start off the week. We always want to start, anytime we go start a Monday game, we want to come out with a win. And Gavin came out and threw great. He had a perfect game when he left the game. J.D. Shelton came in and threw well. So it was good to get that first win and start the week off on a good note.
Then you go on the road again to Opelousas Catholic, and of course y'all are going to play anybody. Yeah, and I know that was a difficult game, a very, very strong team, talented team. Let's talk about that one a little bit.
It was. Opelousas Catholic's coached well, and ever since I've been at UA, they've always had a quality program there. Their starting pitcher came out, and he threw a lot better than we anticipated. Like, we looked at him in the bullpen. He didn't look like he was throwing all that great, but he came out and he was painting the corners, throwing the curveball at the right time, kept our hitters off balance, and we really didn't put anything together until we got him out of the game. But we really stress with the guys that our issue lately is not winning the 5th, 6th, and 7th. We came up short, but they showed some gumption. We were down 4 runs going into the 6th inning, and we put a couple on the board, and we made it a close ball game. So I was real proud of them for fighting and making the game close at the end. So
I think that's what I was following it on Game Changer, and it looked like it was just some missed opportunities, some things that we can work, improve on. But, like the first inning or second inning, we had second and third and nobody out, or one out. We get one out of it, but you need that big hit to
we really do. And we had a point where, Jay Gillard came up late in the game with the bases loaded. We were still down 3 at the point, and he hit a ball in the right center gap that I'm sitting here waving guys. I'm thinking it's down. We got a tie ball game, and the center fielder out there, he made a great catch out on the warning track. So that kind of lost some momentum for us and took the air out of our sails. But they really came back, and they battled even in the 7th and put up another run, so I was real proud of them.
Yeah, so that one ended up 5-3, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and then we go into Thursday, and you have the doubleheader against Pickering because the Tuesday game got moved there. You win both of those games, and I thought the most important thing, and Danny was saying during the broadcast as well, that the arms, that you didn't have to, because you guys have been playing 4 or 5 games all week. So
we have.
Talk about that doubleheader.
We set up the schedule like that to set them up, get ready for the playoffs. So we have a bunch of games back to back. That way we can set up our pitching staff the way we need to. But the guys came out and they threw great. And like I said, we didn't have to use very many arms out of the bullpen. So that helps us setting up for this week coming into a tough one. So
yeah. And we talked about this too, but you starting pitchers between Anacoco and Cohen went to Gopalousas Catholic. Then you go into, and you got Michael and Cooper throwing the double hitter. But how important was it on the back end of that to get those freshmen some innings?
it was really, really important, especially against Pickering. We knew coming in we were probably going to take those 2 games, and we knew it was an opportunity to get some of those younger guys some time on the mound. That way we can understand going down that stretch who can help us and who can't. And I was really proud. J.D. Shelton came in that first game and threw well. And then Tishner came in the second game and really, really surprised me. I was really impressed with him. He had a good mound presence. He's got a good arm action. I know they said he had been struggling throwing strikes in some of the JV games, so we had an opportunity there to let him go out there and just do what he does. If he wasn't around the strike zone, we had enough of a cushion where we could have brought somebody in, but he really stepped up and came in through strikes and threw really well.
Yeah, that was still a game at that point. It was a 3 or 4 run lead. Like you said, you had a plan, but it was still 3. It was pressure innings.
It was, and that's one of the things that I said to Jordan. He was like, "You still want to go with Tishner?" I'm like, "Why not? Why not? Let's see what he's made of.
Yeah.
Put him in a pressure situation and see what he can do." And he really stepped up.
Well, one thing we also know about this year is that your heavy senior leadership, and 14 seniors on the team, and we're going to have 2 of them come up. We're going to have Michael Henry come up and Nate Bilbo come up. Before they come up, Coach, give us a little, talk about those guys a little bit.
Michael Henry's been one of our arms for the last couple of years, and I know his last couple starts haven't been the best, but we're really looking for him to do something down the stretch for us. He's got a great arm. He's got a great curveball. I think his mindset needs to calm down a little bit. I think he presses a little bit too much, but I think if he gets in that nice level mindset, he's going to do some good things. And then you got Nate Bilbo. He's one of the best gloves I've seen in a long time at third base. He plays the hot corner really well. His bat's finally starting to come around. So, those are 2 guys that are leading for us.
Excellent. Well, we're gonna take this opportunity to go to break here. You're watching Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks, Buffalo Wild Wings on 446 Sports.
Buying car insurance for the first time can be overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online, but why wait? We're here to help you make sure you're covered. When it comes to car insurance, we have the answers, and we may have rates that save you money. So talk to Hawk at 318-791-HAWK or online at talktohawk.com and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
The fine folks at BK Distributors want to thank all the educators for weathering the storms, so to speak, through 2020 and beyond. Thank you for your dedication to our children. The end of the school year awards are now available. Any type of award, trophies, banners, plaques, they do it all at BK Distributors. So with school almost out, that means summer leagues are in full swing. New items, same great prices, and fast turnaround. BK Distributors, Highway 20 in East Pineville behind Arby's.
And welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings for Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks. And we're joined by two more Menard seniors, baseball seniors. I have Michael Henry to my immediate left. We have Nate Bilbo. So welcome on the show, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
First question, favorite food, not favorite place. Favorite food, Michael.
Chicken fettuccine.
Chick-fil-A chicken?
No, chicken fettuccine.
Chicken fettuccine. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I get a little nervous here too. All right, Nate and you.
I'm gonna have to go with sushi.
Sushi. That's two good ones, of course.
But
go again. Yeah, I can hear you now.
That's different answers than we've had the previous weeks, and so we've only had one repeat answer. I can't remember who had the same, but somebody had the same answer, but you guys are something different, so that's good.
And I got to go with my boy Michael here, being Italian, fettuccine. I can't believe I didn't hear that. So, but, all right, so we know, Michael, that you're going to LCU for football, okay. Any interest in trying to do baseball as well, or don't know yet?
I would like to.
Okay.
If it comes to the point, but right now it's kind of like just football right now.
Okay, I got you. And Nate, where are you going to school?
Going to LSU.
Okay.
Just to be a student.
Just to be a student. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. We Coach Danny and I were talking about that with you earlier. That sometimes it's just just go focus on the grades and everything. So Danny, you want to ask him there?
What's your walk-up song?
For hitting, my walk-up song is "All the Money" by Gunna.
So do you have a different one for pitching?
Yes, sir.
What's that one?
It's called "Four Seats" by A$AP Ferg.
Okay. All right.
"Word on the Streets" by Key Glock.
Okay. All right. Who has the best walk-up song? I mean, outside of you, of course. Who has the best walk-up song?
I think my personal favorite is Cooper Scott's.
Cooper?
I like his. I'm gonna go with Carter's.
I'm very interested in asking Carter what his was.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, and of course, I know you play multiple sports, Michael, but best moment in Menard baseball for you so far up to this point?
So back in my sophomore year, we were playing a Royals charter, and I came in because our starting pitcher was struggling. I came in to pitch, and I got the 3 outs for the inning, and then the next inning I had to hit for him, and I ended up hitting a home run that got us the lead and won us a game. That was my first real district win.
Excellent. Nate?
I'm going to go with the Ash walk-off this season.
The Ash walk-off. Hey, that's a good one, too. We got to call that one, so that was a lot of fun as well.
So I'm going to go back to that, Mike. We'll talk a little baseball. We talked to Coach Jordan at one point, and he talked about you in the closing role, and that you told him you like the pressure. You come out straight dealing against Ash in that walk-off win. You come in the ninth, or top of the ninth, was it, and just dealing. Then I laugh because you go into the next game for the next day, and almost like you built your pressure in because you walk the bases loaded, and then you get out of it. So we'll talk about that for a little bit.
Things just happen. It's baseball.
I understand.
I guess.
And some people they thrive off of situations like that. It doesn't mean that you always want it like that, but it does. You do thrive off of them. So.
I didn't want that, but
Well, I just laugh because Coach said that you like the pressure. I said, well, he just wanted to put himself in that pressure situation, and you come through and got out of it and worked out for us. Just all kidding aside, that was a great outing between Ash, and the next day you pitched and had great outings both days. Nate at third base, fellow third baseman as well. I play a little third base. I like playing third base because I didn't have time to think.
Right.
I usually, if it's the ball that, I got to make a decision on at shortstop, whether I'm coming in or staying back on it. Third base, you don't have to make that decision for the most part. You do
Right.
something. What's your favorite play to make from third base? Is it the run in and throw it across your body, or is it the hot shot that you get the cape and show your arm off?
I'm going to say like a diving play.
Okay.
Backhand or forehand.
Backhand, forehand. All right.
Diving on the turf.
Right.
You like that better than the dirt? Or
Oh,
did
yeah.
you- oh,
100%.
I guess I'm just an old dirt bag, man. I mean, I like the dirt. I mean, give me the dirt.
Well, I think it's a little different when you got to dig dirt from outside your pants and everything else. So
Yeah, that's
it's a
true.
little different.
That's true. And I tell you, the Tide commercials, they're going to have to go away from baseball here. So, Michael, hitting, pitching, okay, favorite thing, striking somebody out, hitting that home run you're talking about, which one you like better?
Well, for now, I like striking out.
Strike
like
somebody
striking
out.
out. Create.
And see, that's something too about man, when we were in school, and of course I'm pretty old, but we did not celebrate like that in baseball. But football, you'd get up, and baseball was more of a gentleman's type game, the way. And we won some too, Danny. We didn't win as much as you, but we won some too. But man, you guys these days, man, y'all look at the other dugout, you pop your chest. I mean, y'all really get to
changing
celebrate.
in times,
It
man.
is
It's changing
man.
times.
It is. Of course, we didn't have cool walk-up songs either.
No.
So, and then, what are you majoring in? Or do you even know yet?
I have a major right now. I want to do political science and pre-law.
Okay. Good. Okay. And how about you?
I'm thinking biology.
Biology to go into
the medical field.
Oh man, we got a future attorney, future doctor. So and remember Doug, our founder here. In case hopefully we won't need you guys. But well, man, it's been great. It's been our pleasure watching you guys. I mean, Dan, you have anything else for him?
No, I mean, I just think that was, like I said, I want to tell Michael I enjoy watching you pitch. Nate, third base, of course, I'm an infielder. I thought you've had some great games so far, so it's been a pleasure. Let's continue going. Well, we got district started. We're 2-0 in district, and so we're looking to build on that. We got a Vols this week, right? And then Rose Pine next week, big rivalry there. So we're looking forward to that.
Appreciate you guys coming on. You're watching Around the Diamond with Coach Scully and Coach Marks at Buffalo Wild Wings on 446 Sports.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Do you have enough coverage? Are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hawk with Farm Bureau Insurance. You may think it's easier online. Have the answer. Come and let us help you protect your biggest investments.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage property settlements. Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Time for our red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June.
4 innings of no-hit baseball with 5 strikeouts. The last game against Pickering.
And we're back. That was we're talking about Gavin here, and we upstairs thought that you guys probably would have given him the in the park grand slam, but we didn't get any home cooking that night.
No, we didn't get.
Well, I'll say this. Let me put it this way. I didn't think you would, but then when I checked Game Changer and they had the home run, I thought you had, so now they changed it back.
That was our
They
game
made the
changer
correction.
guy. Yeah, that was our game changer guy that was doing it, and I told him, I was like, man, that's a triple in
Yep,
there. I
yep.
hate to take it away from him, but we got to call it right.
It's the right call.
It was the right call.
I also wanted to talk to him tonight to see the slide. looked pretty rough. Now, of course, he was probably tired, and I probably wouldn't have made it around second base, but the slide looked rough, and I didn't know if he got any turf burn on him or anything. But
he was gassed by the time he got to home plate on
Yes.
that one, for sure.
Yeah, and of course, not expecting to make that. So, Coach, let's talk about this week. Big one tomorrow. We have Iota, who's, I know they're ranked number 1 in the non-select Division II. Schedule's probably not as tough, but they're still a good ball club.
They are. We went out to them last year, and I don't know if we took them for granted, but we definitely got humbled by them out there. They're a really good ball club. One of my good friends that played on the Aces with me, he coaches out there too, Evan Cherry, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. But we really got a score to settle with them. I think it's going to set the tone for the week for sure.
It seems like you guys talking to Jordan, talking to Drew. Y'all have a lot of contacts with the teams that you're playing. Is it just, coaching, playing with them in the past, or is it just over the years you guys have played against them and that's how the
baseball
schedule
fraternity.
works?
Some of them, it's ones we've played against them. I mean, it's crazy how small the baseball community is throughout the nation. I mean, we played a team last year. We come in from Arkansas, a team coming from Arkansas, and one of the coaches there was a guy that I played against in the United League. So, I mean, it's a really small community. And
Tuesday to Vols, it's the first. That's a home game on the for the district, and I know you turn around and play them on Thursday. Tell me a little bit about a Vols.
We could end up getting punched in the mouth, but I think it's going to really set the rest of the district tone right there if we can go get both of those games this week. I mean, it's nice to have the first one at home. That way we can go ahead and take the first one in front of our home stadium and the home crowd. That'll give us the energy to go back into a Voils and play them there.
So do y'all have if it's something you can say, or if y'all have even talked about it, I'm sure y'all have, pitching, who you starting tomorrow night? Have you made that decision yet?
We haven't made that decision just yet. I mean,
No worries.
we kind of set it up last week where we try to keep Cooper's pitches low that way in case, it's probably all hands on deck tomorrow because we really need to get that win.
Well, one thing, talking about district, and Danny pointed this out last week, that this year your teams in the district have some wins.
They do.
So you're and I know, and Coach Jordan says he's not worried about PR and stuff, but unfortunately in this day and time, so your district games are really going to add to your PR as well if you guys win.
They really are. I mean, these guys do, like I said, they do have some wins. So any win that we can pick up in district's always huge. Our goal is definitely to try to stay through undefeated. That way we can take the district championship and not have to worry about anything. But those PR points are definitely important these days.
The reason, I feel like the big reason, and of course it's obvious, but the big reason those are important is home game. Mm-hmm. Home games in the playoffs. Those are massive.
That's huge, and that's the one thing we're trying to get at. I was really surprised when Jordan showed me because I try not to stay and look at the rankings, but that's his job. But he showed me that we were sitting at 10, even with the kind of not great record that we have right now. It's really surprising. So if we can get into the 8 or 7 slot, that's going to be huge.
I think this morning, overnight, you guys went to 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh, did we? Okay.
So, yeah, and
Good.
that's
right
been
spot.
it's just crazy how that stuff changes. With all the. I think last, yesterday was probably most of your tournaments are now over now that we're in district. So you're not going to have people who get 2 wins in a weekend or so. But talk about the 2 out of 3 for the school. The side. Now I know you guys have a large roster for your school, but talk about that in the playoffs.
It's definitely a big disadvantage for some of the smaller schools that don't have quite the arms like we do. Like I said, we have probably 7, 8 guys that we can run out there that we're really confident in. So it's good going into that 2 out of 3 series. The only thing I wish they would switch is if that was semis and finals.
Right.
Because it would really be great to see a state championship have a best of 3 series. That way, because last year we went down there and had that semifinal game on Thursday, and we had that exciting win, and we came in the next day, and everybody was just flat, kind of from the emotional letdown. And I think if we would have had a best of 3 series against St. Charles, it would have been something different.
Well, that's something else too. That when they go to those 1-game sets, is if you got your ace, and that's your only ace. If you only play them 1 time, you face that ace 1 time.
Right.
Whereas if you play that 2-game set, you might get an off pitcher the next time instead of their ace. And
Right. You really find out what a ball club is made of when you put them in a situation like that where they got to play multiple games against the same team in back-to-back days. So it's not like anybody's got some rest coming into it. It's you play today, you play tomorrow, and more than likely you're playing a doubleheader that next day. So it's like I said, it really shows you what you're made of.
Yeah, and then if you get in a rain situation, where there's any delays at all, then now you go to your second pitcher in that semifinal, where if you were doing a 3-game set, hey, maybe if you're down that first game going into the rain, maybe you don't
Right,
use
he's
a
low
different
on
arm.
pitching. Yeah,
That's right,
yeah,
use a
knock him
different
down.
arm. So, but
and
you
that's
know,
the thing we worried about last year in the semis. I mean, we had that rain delay when
Right.
Prajon was out there, but he stayed in the bullpen and kept his arm loose, and we were confident in sending him back out there. So.
that's right, because if I'm not mistaken, I think right before the game or so, y'all went to a gym. Y'all went to a gym just to kind of get out of the rain. If I think that's
get out
what
of rain, let them relax, get their mind right before we went into it.
Right, and that time of the year, you're going to have pop-up rain. So, but a question I do have, and I didn't get to ask Coach Jordan, what do you think about like the district where you play of Vols Tuesday, Thursday?
I really like that setup too. Like we changed, I think it was my second year at UA when they decided to play both district games in a week. But that's another thing that sets it up where you cannot see the ace twice in a row. So it really, some teams it's a disadvantage, some teams it's a good advantage because we have a good pitching staff. But I really like that setup where we're playing them in the same week and not quite a few days in between because you have to have your pitching staff set up the way you need to.
Now we're halfway through the season, which I told Jordan that going into this weekend we'd be halfway through. Is there something in particular about the ball club that's better than you thought going into the season?
Not necessarily better. I know there's things that we really need to work on coming down the stretch. I think some of our mindsets, we're trying to do a little bit too much in the box. Some guys, when they get on the mound, they're trying to throw the ball a little bit too hard. We need to get them to settle in and play comfortable baseball like we were last year. And I don't think we're quite there yet, but we definitely have the potential to get back to that.
You see glimpses of it. I mean, some games you see the glimpses that hey, they're doing what they want them to do. But then also you have those moments where you're trying to clean up. But again, we talked to Jordan about it. You don't want to be playing your best ball, or at least this case, you don't want to be losing games and thinking you're playing your best ball.
No, and that's one thing that Jordan and I have both been adamant about this year is we let them know where they are. We're not giving them any false hopes or any false confidence about what they're doing. But and we stress that too. We got to play right. We got to be playing our best ball at the right time. We got to peak at the right time, and that's toward the end of the season. So if we can roll into the playoffs with a hot hand, we got a good shot at it.
Excellent. So, well, we're at the end of our show. I just wanted to thank Buffalo Wild Wings, thank the crowd. The crowd was phenomenal again tonight. Thank Chuck Perkins, our founder, Doug Gann, Coach Brad Turner. He's Danny Clear. I'm Nick McNano. You guys have a good evening. May the Lord bless you.